Good morning, everyone. This is Kalen Arreola. I'm here with Bob Calvert. I am the social media manager for R4 Alliance. You can find out more about the organization on www.r4alliance.org. And I want to introduce Bob this morning. He is from Talking with Heroes. He's been a supporter of R4 Alliance from the beginning, right, Bob? From the very beginning of the Alliance?
Actually, the last little over 3 years is when Bert first called me here. Excuse me.
And yeah. And so Bob's been interviewing many of our members across the country. Probably about 70 of our members have already done interviews with Bob. And he has a lot of great things that he's been working on. And so we wanted to have him be the interviewee for once, because he's always interviewing everybody else. I actually knew Bob from my deployment in Iraq when I was in there with the Army. He was able to work with some of the guys on my team, not at the same base, but in the same area. And so now, all these years later, we're here working with R4, which is absolutely fun. And so, Bob, I wanted to have you go ahead and talk about what you do with the Alliance and with R4 and that kind of stuff.
Okay. Well, actually, Bert called me out of nowhere, Bert Gillette. And I had never heard of R4 Alliance, but I've been a big proponent for years, probably 10 more years, with military support groups, that sometimes it might be a good idea to work together, to team up, to collaborate. And Bert starts telling me about these military support groups, recreational wellness, how 9 of their organizations had come together and started this R4 Alliance. And I'm sitting here, I had just finished one of my 7 surgeries, and so I wasn't going anywhere, right? And I thought, okay, this could be a way I could help. What do you want me to do? And so that led to, over the last, 2+ years, doing audio programs, like right from here, my little living room here, my little senior citizen apartment building, to actually being at the R4 Alliance member events, like Project Healing Waters, like Freedom Service Dogs of America, Vet Trip, Marriage for Us, the Comfort Crew. We've been to San Antonio doing videos down there. I've been at the last 3 R4 Alliance national conferences, and all those videos are on the YouTube page, which is amazing for me to watch. I don't have money to advertise, so it's like watching this counter go up every day is just, I sit here and I go, wow. But a lot of it's because I'm like you. I'm out there telling people about these new programs, and more people hear about you. They go check you out. Then they find this YouTube page with hundreds of videos with our troops in Iraq and Kuwait and Afghanistan, showing what most of the media never showed, how they were helping people. And that took me out, like you were talking about. It took me out on missions, into the villages, interviewing local people. But I can't do that anymore. Age got a hold of me or whatever. But I can do this. And so I'm a little more limited right now what I can do. But there's some shows coming together here in Colorado Springs. Mm-hmm. One of the new R4 Alliance members, I introduced them, is Pikes Peak Therapeutic Writing Center. And they've been around for a long time. I used to attend a monthly meeting with them, their leadership, years ago here in Colorado Springs. And so I don't know what they have in mind yet, but they sent me a list of the people they would like me to interview. So I thought, that's good. Then I have to figure out, with my current situation, how I get there and who's going to help me with the camera, because I just can't do this, alone anymore. But I already got little lists here, and as soon as I know when, I'll start calling and get it done. But there's some other groups here that start talking to me that I, again, knew years ago. Mm-hmm. But then I started making the trips to Iraq and Afghanistan, and started around the country, and I wasn't here much. Right. So, my mission's not over. I figure as long as God leads me here, no matter what the health stuff going on is. And in between doctors and taking your medicine and doing tests, and as long as my daughter and her husband are not picking me up and my grandkids, this is what I'm going to be doing. This is what I do.
That is so great. Honestly, you have good energy. I was glad to see that you just seem like you have good energy and that you've been doing pretty well. You look really good, Bob, actually. I'm excited that you're still working on all these things. I think it's such a huge benefit to our community and then also to the individual organizations. Because for our members, I mean, you're doing video interviews with them and they can use that on their social media and their websites too, right? Any members that you interview are able to use any of that material.
Absolutely. Anybody can watch the videos, share the videos. We're on Facebook, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Twitter, leaving one out, Alignable. I'm on 2 Facebook pages, actually. And the 70-year-old guy here that really kind of got thrown into this whole computer world, right? I'm amazed still at watching this. I mean, I think it's about 20,000. The challenge is reaching them now because all these social media companies, to really get your message out, they want you to pay them. Mm-hmm. And so I work at it. I do what I can like you do. And Jeanette is amazing with her sharing she does and the post. And, she's an inspiration to me. A lot of my daughter and my son-in-law and my brother all served. My brother's still in. I watched PTSD in a family, and so if I was ever to think, well, I'll just go downstairs and play cards or something with the other senior people here, I'm done. I couldn't do that. I think God still has a lot planned. And then we have, you and I talked about this, and then I invited you along with Jeanette and Colin Clark with Green Ox Pallets, Bill Wisniewski with Lightning Graphics GA, Eric Chia with Chia Web, my daughter. With Colin and Bill and Eric, I could have never gotten this far living on this little fixed income of mine, doing what I did. They're the people behind the scenes. You see their website address at the credits of the videos or on the talk show pages. Go check these companies out. They're really neat. One of them, like Bill Wisniewski, he films at Airborne Association in Fort Benning almost every day. Been doing it for 15 years. So anybody that went to the Special Forces or Rangers or whatever, and you came back, you get a drop, and you go back to the tables, you might have seen Bill at one of his staff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I'm really very blessed to have had such support. There's no way I could have gotten this far without him. And then, of course, R4 Alliance is just added to that. I mean, we're taking our news site, thankyoufforyourservice.us, and we're turning it into a nonprofit. It's something I've thought about for a very long time, over a decade. But it costs money, and I never had money to put into that. And then all of a sudden, this law firm appears out of nowhere, Ziliak Law. Colin says, well, if you can get all the paperwork done, I'll cover the fees. And I'm going, wow, this is really happening. And so what we're going to do is we're going to turn thankyoufforyourservice.us into a grassroots network of military support groups, veterans groups, anybody that's involved in supporting our troops or veterans. Throw all the politics out, right? Leave it all in a closet someplace. Then there's millions of us across the country. But we don't get much media coverage. Please nobody media get mad at me. But this will be the first network ever to offer channels to all these different people and organizations and big companies. Yeah. Like USAA, they're doing amazing. They have 6,000 or 7,000 veterans they've hired. They're hiring more, and they're collaborating with all these different groups. Yeah. We're going to offer them all a channel and just kind of go from there. We're also going to offer on the thankyoufforyourservice.us a fundraising portal. So maybe in addition to GoFundMe or You Caring or whatever for fundraising, also upload it there. Right. We're going to reach out to all the companies across America and individuals, the foundations, and say, hey, come on in and check out these nonprofits that served our country. Some are still serving, and they have these projects, and you may want to help.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's such a great idea. So how, as far as R4 members go, what I really wanted to ask you today was, how can they leverage video for their organization? Let's just say, we know there's not 1,000 Bob Calverts that can go around to every place. So what do you do when you're interviewing people? Do you have tips for them on how to maybe engage people they're partnered with at a local level to get more content for their social media sites and have really valuable, because I know you build relationships through using the video production.
Right.
part of it is meeting these people and then staying in touch with them. And I think our members could do something similar to what you do on their own if they had some tips.
So all the R4 Alliance members that I have had collaborated with you on, especially a video program, those are like little infomercials for you. And, you know, for 11 years, every probably soldier, Marine, Navy, National Guard, whatever, reserves that came across the camera, I would tell them the same thing. They'd say, well, what are we going to talk about? I say, first of all, this is your show. This is your opportunity to tell the story that you don't think the American people are hearing. So now take that years later with all these recreational wellness groups like Project Healing Waters and Trout Unlimited and Heroes on the Water, taking people out, these veterans out on fishing trips and literally saving lives, right? The stories are just amazing. So when we do a video with you, that's for you to use. You should have that on your website, your YouTube page, your social media, start conversations with it. And it's like an infomercial. Like, for instance, when we will be teaming up in some way at the next R4 Alliance conference, the videos we do there, you should be taking those videos that should go everywhere. When you do a fund appeal, there's a video that tells your story. You know, when you contact the foundation for a grant, there's that video. That's your story. It's not my show. I always have believed that, lived it, and going to stick by it. So, yeah, and then social media. You know, when you have a video that you had done for you, whether it's me or you, Kalen, you should be promoting that. You know, it should be on your social media page, and people will start responding, and then you have that dialogue, and all of a sudden, right? You talk about it because you're better at this than I am.
No, I think what people don't even realize too is when they're looking at Facebook ad spend, Facebook ads actually, when you boost an ad for maybe $10 or $1 a day, Facebook loves videos that are already getting organic traction on their own. So people don't realize if they look at the videos they're posting and they're posting them consistently, even if you don't use, I mean, right now I'm using a platform called BeLive TV. It used to be totally free. Now you have to pay for it like everything else is going on now. You know, everything's a fee. But I know that you can do it inside of Facebook. You don't need an app like this. You can actually go live on Facebook. And I even recommend to my clients and for all the R4 members watching this, you know, go on Facebook Live daily and talk about something that you're doing in your organization. Invite someone to your office, you know, who's maybe benefited from your services. And you know, for Bob's great at interviews, if you look at a lot of his old, I encourage anyone to go onto our YouTube channel and go to talkingwithheroes.us, which I thought it was GUS now. Oh no. All right, hold on.
Thank you for your service.us will be our nonprofit. Talking with Heroes will stay a talk show.
It'll stay .com. Okay. I'm going to put that URL up right now so people can go up there. But if you look at how Bob interviews people, there's the URL. It's up on the screen. So if you go to talkingwithheroes.com and you take a look at how he interviews people, what he talks about with them, just mirror what he's doing and do it on your smartphone. It's really easy. You can buy a tripod for, you know, not a lot of money. I know I got a tripod at Walmart for $20. It was... You put it on a desktop. It's a little short one. And it works out if you're in a situation where maybe you're outdoors and you need to put, you know, your tripod on a rock somewhere, maybe do an interview, Facebook Live. There's so much you can do to make it fun and creative, especially for the guys and girls that are out on those recreational therapy. The river trips and like Project Sanctuary does retreats. If you get reception there, do a live video from where you're at, and it makes people who can't be there get a bird's eye view into what you guys are doing, or like a little behind the scenes, so they feel part of it. They feel part of what you're doing. I do a lot of Facebook Lives at the R4 conference, and I will be again. So any members that are attending will be doing Facebook Live videos. Bob will be doing recorded interviews, and I think we're possibly going to have another media crew there as well. So there's so much opportunity this year to really get involved and take advantage of the technology.
Well, the way R4 Alliance is growing is just amazing to me. I mean, it's over 85 members. So for those of you maybe you're hearing about R4 Alliance for the first time, it's R4 Alliance, letter R, number 4 alliance.org. Click on that members tab at the top and look at all those wonderful organizations. And most of them are led by veterans, like Kalen. Right? They're led by military families, by caregivers like Jeanette, right? I mean, and then people like me. I've never been in the military. Almost everybody else in my family has, but not me. Mm-hmm. And here I am doing what I never would have expected to do. But yeah, so you want to read those members that if you're a nonprofit or maybe you're a corporation and you're wanting to do more to help the troops, contact R4 Alliance. Matter of fact, if you want to email me and send me a little bit about yourself, I'll forward your information to the leadership so they can see who you are. I think so far there've been about 20 I've referred that are our members, which is it's really neat to watch you grow. It's long overdue in America, and basically it's vets helping vets, military families helping military families, Gold Star families. It's, whatever our part was, me, it's military family, right? My daughter, my brother, my son-in-law, and but we're all part of this big military veterans family, right?
Well, and the families are, dealing with a lot of the stuff because the veteran comes home and that's who their support system typically is. And so families are a huge part of all of what R4 does and the organizations that are part of it. And there's a lot of amazing civilians, non-military. Heather from Project Sanctuary was a nurse, and now has this amazing organization that does so much. So,
and it keeps growing. It was the first organization that my daughter and her husband, Keith, had 2 long deployments, 12 and a 15-month deployment, and Adrian wears a lot of hats as far as military veteran and family wife, right? They went on a Project Sanctuary.us military family retreat. Some of those families they met then, years later, they're still friends.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and it benefited them. And I've heard these stories over and over again. But again, I see it in my own family. My brother, who's going to be out of the military shortly, he was 10 years Air Force, and he's been in the Army, I think about, 8 or 9, but an Afghanistan deployment. He worked at Brooke Army Medical Center in the lab, and he had a command position at Fort Sam Houston with headquarters. And he's getting ready to get out, but he's going through a lot of what so many of our men and women are going through. So he went to see Bob Detchner, right, at vettrip.org. And he went through these programs they do that I got to experience myself. And he called me on the phone. He said, wow. He said, I can feel the difference. I'm going back. See, and a lot of times, these veterans, they benefit from these places, these retreats, these events, these fun things to do. Climb a mountain, right? Then they go out, they want to come back, and they want to help now or start their own group. That's Project Sanctuary. A lot of these groups, Project Healing Waters Fly Fishing, the chapters popping up around the country, they're veterans, most of them.
Yep. Well, and they come home and they see a need that's not being filled. When I came home, we didn't have a parade. We didn't have anybody waiting for us. We just landed in New Jersey at Fort Dix and then went and ate lunch. And it was so odd because we hadn't seen television for a year. We had no idea what was on TV, what the music was, what anyone was wearing or doing. And it's almost like you're in a time warp from American culture you really are. At least we were. We didn't really have regular television. We had the local, stations that were in the Middle East, or if we could get a hold of a TV. So, when you come back, you are kind of out of the loop on a lot of stuff, and people have advanced another year, and they've had a lot of memories and things you weren't part of. So it can be tough when you try to come back just from deployment. And then after being in the military for, people who retire, you'll think that the way the military does things is not the way civilian organizations do things. It's a different set of rules, kind of.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
is it all right to mention a little bit my current situation?
Oh yeah, go ahead and mention that. I have not.
I've had a really hard time with this, asking for help. because, all the sponsors, all the trips I took to Iraq and Afghanistan, I always, when I raised the money, had to pay the videographer, but never paid me. And maybe I should have, but, I didn't. And then to have all this health stuff hit and these surgeries and cancer and now stage 4 cancer, and it's like, there's things I'm going to have to be able to do to get through this. And I don't have the income to do it. So I put up, it's a number of people's suggestion. It's a www.youcaring.com/Bob Calvert -842493. And I'm amazed at how quick people have responded. But then an appointment I had yesterday with the doctor, I realized that I got to get more serious about this, as much as I'd rather not having asked people to send me money, but to send it to R4 Alliance or one of these other groups. But I want to be able to keep going. I want to see my grandkids get older, It's stage 4 means that they basically have me on a hormone shot and then another drug called Zytiga and then prednisone, and the combination. The oncologist told me that it could increase my life 12 to 17 months. And I'm sitting there going, okay, I thought it was going to kill the cancer. Apparently when it spreads throughout your body, doing whole body chemotherapy, probably especially at 70, could be not really. So he gave me this option. So it lets me live longer. So I figure while I'm living longer, right, I don't have to worry about them spreading right now. So I'm really going all out. The plants that God put here, the foods that God put here, they're medicinal. There's so many of them. Hopefully the federal government at some point will let the doctors do their job. I've used hemp oil successfully now for over a year for this. I have 3 foot surgeries for the spasms. I know that works, and I've had no side effects. And I'm in Colorado. I have a medical card. I'm using a formula with THC and CBD together, liquid, and it's unbelievable for the relief of pain. And I haven't had any of the side effects I had on the opioid pain relievers. I have a bag full of them from all these surgeries. But there's also indication with frankincense and other things that it could possibly also kill the cancer. So I figure, what do I have to lose, right? Right. If I don't find something, they're not finding something. They're just putting the cancer cells to sleep. So what if while that's happening, we could actually kill them with things, plants and foods that God put here? Well, unfortunately, that costs a lot of money. I live on a small fixed income. So I put this out there. So I thought, if people could donate like 20, but then the other part of this, and this is my promotion part of me, Bob Calvert, right? When they put a comment, the comments have just been amazing to me. Some of them, like people I haven't even talked to in like 20 years. I had no idea they've been following me online on this adventure I've been on, right? And all of a sudden this name pops up and I go, really? Donna Seymour from Herbalife? Wow, I haven't talked to her in 20 years, And, but anyway, so people can put a comment after they make their donation, whether it's 20 or more. And when you put that comment, put your website address. I'm going to leave, and whoever takes this over, this is going to be part of the deal when whoever starts running it, right, at any point, that stays in our website forever. So if you want to look at that as really low income advertising, plus you're helping me hopefully live longer, and I'm going to document this, folks. I already know from the meetings I've had here in town with some of these organizations, a nonprofit called Realm of Caring and others. I see another mission ahead of me. If I benefit from this and I survive cancer because of something I'm taking here, then the country needs to hear about it, and hopefully the federal government will hear about it. And again, like I said, let the doctors do their job, right? These are medicines. Somebody didn't make them. They didn't copyright them or patent them. They grow. So I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I definitely, how many minutes are we? We have about 5 minutes left to go. Do you have anything else that you would want to share?
Well, we did the Freedom Service Dogs of America videos recently. They're on our YouTube page, youtube.com/BobC9246. or you can just go to any of our pages and there'll be a link. Watch the videos. Amazing service. They've been doing for decades now, but they just took a big leap forward. And then Pikes Peak Therapeutic Writing Center, God willing, I'll be doing more there. I have some others here in the springs that there's some discussion started. And then, of course, the R4 Alliance Conference. People need to keep in touch with you, especially R4 Alliance members. If you're going to be there, it'd be helpful to let Kalen know you might want to have one of those Facebook Live episodes. Let her know ahead of time so you can plan a schedule. Works for you, them and you, and the same with me on the ones I do. But yeah, let's work together. Let's collaborate.
And I'm going to put my email for R4 Alliance is news. Sorry, you cannot see me anymore.
I can see you. I can still see you.
You can see me, but they couldn't.
Oh.
Okay, r4alliance.org. So that's my email is there, news@r4alliance.org. If you have anything social media or you want to do a live video at the conference, you want to plan ahead for something, definitely shoot me an email and we can get that sorted out for you. Conference is such a great opportunity for the members to get a ton of content for their social media stuff that they can schedule out for months. And so highly recommend planning for that if you're going to be there.
Absolutely. If you can get me that video, I'll put it on the donation page. I'll have it on our homepage, talkingwithheroes.com. There's a whole bunch of videos on there right now. People haven't looked at talkingwithheroes.com for a while. It's a whole new look. Makes it so much easier watching videos. They're right there on a whole bunch of them. And so we'll put that one at the top. But I appreciate, Kalen, what you're doing. I see this for years now. Veterans like yourself, you're still serving. Helping vets, right? And it is spreading. And these videos like this that you're doing, that I'm doing, that we'll collaborate together for Alliance members, it's helping that happen.
Yeah. Yep, it is. It'll never stop being something that we should talk about, and the families will always need help. So I love doing this, and I know you do too.
Yep. And I'd like to also, I always do this at the end of my programs, so if you don't mind, all the men and women who are serving right now, and some of you may be in countries that we really don't know. There's a lot of people there, but there are, right? Be safe, stay alert. God bless you, and to your families and you, thank you for your service to our country. God bless you. And get home soon, safe.
Thanks, Bob. We're going to end it here.